All right, guys. So a lot of the viewers on this channel are over 40. I'm 48 as I'm making this video. So I want to talk about what I think you can do to help reclaim your health if you're over 40 and you've kind of given up and you think, that there's no way out of your current situation. I want to share with you what I think is really important that I think a lot of people overlook. And I say that because I've had to go through this process myself with my own health struggles. I'm not where I want to be. It's still a process. But the people that I've worked with and tried to help, this is one of the things that's often missing. They know they need to eat better. They know they need to exercise, but they're missing some bedrock fundamentals. We're going to talk about those. And the great part about it is when you understand these, you can reclaim your health and it doesn't have to be miserable. Okay. It can be enjoyable. So let's just talk about that. Now I want to give credit where credit is due. Two important books. One is Atomic Habits by James Clear. A very important book as far as what we're going to talk about here. And then also Jeff Olson, The Slight Edge, I believe is the name of the book. I'll include links in the description if you want to check them out, but highly recommended book. So first things first, if you want to reclaim your health, you already know, we talked about this, like, yeah, habits are important. Okay. Habits are critically important, but you can't have habits that are incongruent or that don't jive with your own self-image. And a great example from the book is, say you were a smoker and you want to quit. And a common question is if somebody offers you a cigarette and you're trying to quit, people will say, well, no, I'm trying to quit. Their self-image is that they're still a smoker, but they're trying to quit versus my self-image as somebody who is a smoker is to say, no, thank you. I'm not a smoker. Okay. They're both trying to quit smoking, but their self-image is vastly different. And the second one, they're not a smoker. The first one is, no, thanks, I'm trying to quit. So it sounds like a small difference, but it's kind of a Grand Canyon size thing because if you say, well, I'm trying to quit, it's going to affect how your habits align with your self-image. And so you can extrapolate this into any aspect of your life. So to improve your health, you have to improve your self-image. You may be overweight right now. That doesn't mean you're a fat person. Okay. You are overweight right now and you need to do something about it, but your self-image shouldn't be defined by your weight at this point in time. Okay. So those are some important things to remember. The second thing that helped me a ton was understanding just how important consistency was. Okay. Consistency. Gotta make sure I'm spelling that right. I can't do two things at once. So consistency over everything. How many people, maybe you included, I know I've done this myself before, will start out gangbusters on this really ambitious exercise regimen or this really extreme diet that ends up causing more problems down the line than it does helping you. But we go gung ho. And a week in, it's kind of getting tough and we can't stick with it. So we're not consistent. Compare that to somebody who is taking the long view. They're like, I'm not going to try to lose 30 pounds in a month. I'm going to try to lose 30 pounds in a year. And they just kind of chip away at it. And there's that consistency component. If you can adopt that, and that's a great thing about being 40, 50, 60 years old, is you understand the long timeline that is our lives. And you can take that mindset that I'm just going to be consistent. Okay. So that's a huge thing that they talk about in the book. Now, this graph is something that will drive this point home, but it comes from Jeff Olson's book, The Slight Edge. And again, we're coming back to our habits now. Okay. If your self-image is on point and you're instituting healthy habits and you're doing it consistently, here's what we can see with positive, healthy habits. We may not see a big increase at a week or even a month, but over time, if you give yourself consistency over time, these compound. Okay. You've probably seen this stat before, but if you can improve 1%, very, very small amount, do it consistently for 1 year. The math says you will be 37 times better. Okay. But there's the opposite of that, which is if you have negative habits and you do them consistently for long enough time, the reverse holds true. They tend to compound. And that's why we see people in their 40s and 50s and 60s who are extremely overweight. They have heart disease, diabetes, and then they just kind of give up. Okay. So again, guys, I'm not saying I have it all figured out. I don't. I'm still doing these things. I'm still tripping up at times. I'm a regular person. However, um, I was diagnosed pre-diabetic, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, had insomnia. I was a mess 5 or 6 years ago, health-wise. I looked really healthy on the outside, but I was a mess on the inside. And I've been able to overcome those things, and this has been a huge part of it. This has to be in place before you worry about how you're eating, how you're going to exercise, any of that stuff. Okay, you got to get this in line. So hope this was helpful. Make sure to grab your free checklist. I talk about other things you can do to get out of that drug and surgery mindset or advice that we're all given. Okay. So make sure to go check that out. I'll get that over to you. Hope this was helpful, guys. See you in the next one.